Good morning. This is Kelly Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here working on this wonderful baby sweater. It's called Hearst by Sarah Hatton, and here's what it looks like. It's so cute. It's like a version of the grandpa cardigan. I kind of like it. It's kind of a I don't retro look. And this was the actual colored picture of it. But this pattern was created to knit in pieces. So you would knit the front side, the back, and then the left side, and then you start seaming all these pieces together. And so what I wanted to do when I was knitting this sweater is knit it all in one piece from the bottom up. And so what I was going to show you is how I rearranged the chart so that I could do that, and then how I used a highlighter to know where my stitch markers were, because the pattern repeat goes across a large span area. You can see here on this little one, this is damp. I don't have it, it's not totally dry yet, but you can see here's my little baby sweater, and it's 18 month size. And I'm not doing it justice because it's kind of just flopping around, but it's really cute. And it's made in the lovely Sueno DK. And I like Sueno DK because it is a merino wool and a bamboo blend. And it is super wash and it's super soft. No itch to it at all. So it's great for a baby. Yes, Jim?
So tell them about like why why you did, you were looking for a pattern and all the patterns were the pieces, and so
I wanted this specific. I wanted the grandpa cardigan that was different than the Jones sweater that I usually do. So I wanted something different. I wanted the grandpa cardigan look, and I like this round neck on it, and I definitely wanted it to be a sweater so that it's easier to get on and off the baby. And then I was hoping to make it a little bit bigger because this baby's going to be born next month, and merino wool isn't going to be, it's going to get warm. So I wanted something that I can make for like the 18 month size, and then have it fit for through the winter.
But you didn't want to piece it all together too, right?
No, I didn't want to have to seam it because, I mean, I don't mind seams. Seams can add structure, which is fantastic. But if you have a ton of seams everywhere, it's just, more bulk on the inside of the sweater that could cause it to be, a little less comfortable. So making it in all in one piece takes away all that bulk. And also when I did this sweater, I did the 0 to 3 month size, and it's actually working up for the 18 month size because I took my ruler and measured it, and I can show you real quick what that's like. But before I get into that, I wanted to talk about every week we have a prize. So for this last week, it was for some lovely Bravo petites, and the winning color was this teal colorway. And every week we give the giveaway, and the way that you enter to win is post comments in the comment section. If you're working on a pattern and you're really enjoying it, go ahead and post that in there, and you'll be entered to win for the prize for the next week.
And that's baby alpaca, right?
Yes, this is baby alpaca made in Peru, and we love the Peruvian baby alpaca. They do such a great job. The factories in Peru are probably some of the most experienced factories working with baby alpaca, which is very difficult to work with because it's so slippery, because it's so soft. Anyway, so it's a great product. And now for this week, I was thinking some kabasi, because we're going into the summertime. And if you haven't heard of kabasi before, it is made by Skicel or Haiku. And this one is a blend of 55% cotton, 16% bamboo, 21% of nylon, and 8% silk. So it has a really nice summertime blend to it. And I like these multi colorways. So the multi in purple and the multi in pink are the choices for this week. And you guys go ahead and vote on that one, which you like best. And we can get that out in the mail to the winner for next week.
So it's purple or pink? So which one's pink? That one's pink?
This is pink. And this one's purple. So purple multi or pink multi, and you just let us know. And then that can either be used, it can be used for socks because it has 21% nylon, and you can also use it for baby items. It makes really great baby items, or even doll clothes. I've made a little baby jacket, excuse me, a baby doll jacket using one of these multicolored ways, and it turned out so cute. It was darling. I really, really like that. So fantastic. And so let's get to it and see if we can take a look at these charts that for this Hearst sweater by Sarah Hatton. And I bought mine on Ravelry. It's not super expensive patterns, and they get high ratings. And she does a good job with her pattern writing. She just does it in pieces. And so it's no problem for me. I'm like, it's okay. You can, I don't care if it's pieces or not pieces. What I'd like is I'm looking for a certain design. And then once I find the design that I have, if there's a chart that goes with it, fantastic. You can easily convert it to knitting flat, the whole, the right, back, and then the left side all at one time. And I'll show you how I did mine. So let's take a look at this. First of all, let's look at the raw chart so we can see. So you can see on her pattern that she has 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 18, right? And you can see right here, she said back and front. Then she has down here left front and then right front, okay? And right in the center, she has a 3-stitch cable. So first thing that I did when I did mine is I counted the stitches, okay? So we have 36 stitches on each side, okay? And then we have the center is double that amount plus 3 stitches, okay? So let's take a look at that. I know it looks really complicated and you can see my highlight marks everywhere, right? But it's all good because I'll show you. So here I am. Let me show you my raw pattern. So what I did is I went to this through 0 to 3 months right here, and I cut it at this line, okay? So the left front is right here. And it's cut starting right here at this line because that's 0 to 3 months. Okay, so you have your, on here, the left front is going to go over on this side because when I'm knitting flat and I'm going from the right front of my sweater to the back and then the left front. Isn't that cool? So I made extra copies of these. And then what I did, you'll see right here, these 2 lines right here, this is the back. That's the whole back, okay? And then this right here is the right front. And over here is the left front. And then I would just read it as a normal chart. And you can see that I taped it with tape. And you can see on the back here, see how I have it taped? I just made it one big chart. So when I read, and I numbered my rows, because you can see when she has hers, there's no numbers on the side, no numbers on the bottom, across the bottom anywhere. There's no numbers anywhere. And the reason why I think that she did that is because this is the right front, this is the left front, and this is the whole back. So how is she going to number that so it makes sense? I mean, it wouldn't make sense. If she tried to number it one way, it wouldn't work for the other, right? So what I did when I numbered mine, you can see right here for my right front, I just, because there was not, it's 36 stitches on each side, I did the first one started with 10, and then 10, and then 10, and then 6. And these are right where I placed my stitch markers. So at the end of the orange, I placed a stitch marker. At the beginning of the orange, I placed a stitch marker. Here I placed a stitch marker. And with these 2, I placed great big stitch markers. So if you look here at my work, I have little stitch markers and then a big stitch marker. And the big stitch markers are these 2 poles. so I don't get mixed up when I'm knitting. And I still knit for a right-sided row number 1. I would knit all the way across here, and then I would turn my work. And then this is number 2. Then I would knit all the way across here. And then number 3, all the way across here. And it is, I heard when I was looking at the Ravelry reviews on this project, it is kind of a repetitive pattern. So you do get to kind of memorize the pattern a bit. Although it's complicated enough that I still looked at the charts and kept track of my rows. Also, when I first was looking at this, do you see how these those are actually cables. They're not an SSK and an SSK, they're actual cables, so just keep that in mind. And then what I did down here on my stitch glossary, this is a CR3 back. So it's a cable right 3 back. So I slipped 2 stitches, and then you knit 1 and then knit the 2. And then the slip, the cable 3 front is a slip 1 and then knit 2, knit 1. And then, so I filled in the glossary here so that I could easily refer to what I was doing with my stitches. Otherwise, when these patterns are page after page after page, you get stuck. You're like, what was that again? And you can have your cables crossed in the wrong way. And if you look at the pattern here, you do want your cables to cross properly, so that all these cables are going to the right and all these ones are going to the left, and so on and so forth. Right? So
you said there was something else. You changed the stitch count on the seams, right?
I added 1 stitch to each edge, and I slipped the stitches. And then what you do is, see how you take this and you roll it over. And then when I go to pick up stitches, I'm just going to pick up 1 to 1.
Well, why did you do that?
So that when she didn't slip stitches on the edge, and what that creates is, I can't really show you because maybe I could. It creates something that looks like this edge. So it's harder to pick up the stitches. Do you see how that looks harder? Now let me show you this. I have to roll this so you can see it. Do you see how easy that's going to be to pick up those stitches? Because you just go right underneath these 2 bars right here. So let me see if I can pull this and show you. So you go right underneath these 2 bars, and that is one of the stitches that you pick up. It makes it really easy to pick up, and it also makes the edge look better. It makes your pickup edge actually look better and lay flatter.
And you said also when you seamed them together, you changed the stitches on how she seamed them. I thought you said that too. Like the stitch counts when she seamed them together, or no?
Oh, well, when I did this, see, here was the thing. That was for the 0 to 3 month size, but let me see if I can find this pattern on here, Jim. So these were my raw charts. Those were the ones that I showed you, and that's upside down. So I printed out several copies of these, and then I would cut up this one, and then I added it to another sheet. I added it to a sheet that wasn't cut up, and then I placed all my markers, and I numbered them. The reason why I numbered all these is that if you're trying to do a stretch from here to here, it's easy to get off track unless you know where you're going to put your if you have a place marker, because especially when you first start, the pattern hasn't developed yet. And you can easily get off track and have the pattern not look at all like what it's supposed to. So on mine, my sweater for the 0 to 3 months that I have here, in the 0 to 3 months, it would be 20 1/4 inches. But remember, because I'm not piecing it together, so each seam is a couple stitches, 2 stitches to be exact, right? So that's 4. And on here, instead of getting 20 1/4 inches, I got 23 3/4 inches for my width across. And it might be just a touch. It might be actually 24 inches because I still have the button band to put on, and I'm sure that that is going to affect the width of it by just a little bit. And then also, when I'm doing the instructions for actually how long to knit my sweater from the bottom up to the armhole and all those directions, I'm following the 12 to 18 months.
So why are you doing some 0 to 3 and some 12 to 18? I didn't get that part.
Because I'm not seaming it together, it's as if I'm making the 12 to 18 months.
Oh.
So if I just follow the 0 to 3 months and make it a lot shorter, like for the back, for instance, it says, it says continue your chart until it measures 5 1/4 inches for the 0 to 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have the width of the 12 to 18 months, so I need to do the length of the 12 to 18 months as well. So instead of knitting 5 1/4 inches, I'm actually knitting 7 1/2 inches before I begin shaping my armholes. So, and when I do the sleeves, I will be making the sleeves the length of the 12 to 18 months to compensate for that as well. And then when I do the collar and what have you, I will also be following the instructions for the 12 to 18 months instructions, because I'm sure that because my length is longer, my pickup for on the edge for the ribbing for the button band and around the collar is going to be it's going to be more stitches that I have to pick up. Guess why? Because it's longer. So I'm actually following all that. The only thing I'm not following was my original cast on amount. I cast on the for the back, it had 75 stitches, and for each side for the left front, it was like 36 stitches. So it's pretty easy. I mean, so if you guys are knitting a sweater and you love the design of it, like I like this, I think Sarah Hatton has done a really cute little sweater in this hearse pattern. And but I don't let the fact that she designed it to be knit in pieces, I don't let that deter me. Yeah. Don't let it stop you. Keep going. Just take all those charts. That's why I tell you, for those of you who don't know how to read charts yet, learn how to read charts. It's really not very hard. I know if I can do it, you guys can do it. And so take a look at those charts and see how easy they are, especially if you place stitch markers so you can keep track every 10 stitches. Am I on track or did I get off track? And you'll be fine. You'll be able to do it very easily. The only thing that I would say is when you get to where the decreases are on my shoulder decreases that I'm doing right now, it's even a little bit confusing to me. So what I want to do for my shoulder increases, I think I'm going to back it up a little bit and actually make myself a chart. Do you see let me show you this on here. Do you see how it does a stair stepping? Right here for the sleeves, you can see that there was on here they're doing some increases because it's going out toward the side, so it's increases, so they're making donk donk. Or if they were decreases, then you could have this amount up here and be following it down this way for decreases. Yeah, and if this is for every other row, you can see because there's one indentation and then it goes down 2 rows and then one indentation and it goes down 2 rows. And that can either be an increase or a decrease. Watch this. This could be for a decrease. This could be for an increase. You could just flip it upside down and do it the other way. So like I'm saying, just get creative when you're knitting your stuff. You don't actually have to follow everything exactly as written. You can be like me and be a rebel. Yeah. Has anyone else done that? Where you just take a pattern? You know, a lot of times when I do socks, it'll be top down. So all I do is take the whole pattern and flip it upside down and do it the other way. I do it toe up. I'm like, it's cool. It works. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to adventure out of those lines and do something a little bit different and have fun with it. So what I was thinking for this next week, I saw this really cute little pattern. I got to find it in here. I have so much paper printed out. My husband is so patient with me because he keeps my printer running and he keeps paper in it so I can copy out all this stuff. Although, yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Knit Companion. He was happy when I did the Knit Companion, but it seems I've kind of gotten away from that again, and I'm kind of back to printing paper, copious amounts of paper. Unfortunately, it's probably not good. I probably contribute to the deforestation of our environment. Isn't this a cute little baby cardigan? I thought this is a summertime one that I could do. And I'm looking at it going, this is so cute. And I don't even know how to, it's Oasis Della Maglia. It's baby cardigan color work by Oasis Della Maglia. And I thought it was really cute. And so I might make this little cardigan too and make it out of I was thinking either vintage DK or maybe Kabasi DK and actually make a baby size. So this could be a cute little sweater for a little boy in boy colors. And I was trying to pick out boy colors and I just started, and I know that I kind of like this gray and the dark blue, and then I need one other color to go to it with it. And so I haven't decided exactly on that yet, but yeah, I'll be doing it next week. So now let's take, and you guys, don't forget to vote on the Kabasi.
Pink or purple?
Yeah, pink or purple multi. And then let's look and see who the winner was for today, right, Jim? Oh, Lordy B. I lost my sheet for today. Stephanie Zubal. Stephanie, look what you won. You won some lovely Bravo Petites made in Peru. 100% baby alpaca. You could do some fingerless mitts. You could do a hat. You could do all kinds of stuff with this much yarn. So all you have to do is get in contact with us at customer service at Alpaca Direct, right, Jim? Mm-hmm. And all we need is your shipping address and we can get it out in the mail to you. Again, you'll get a chance to try this baby alpaca made in Peru. And it's pretty cool. If you haven't tried alpaca yarn, it's a hollow core fiber, one of the warmest fibers in the world, and one of my hands down most favorite yarns ever. I'm always cold, so I do like alpaca. Although, just make sure you only wear one alpaca item at a time, because my sister showed me years ago that it's not a good idea to wear more than one item. She was wearing some hat and leg warmers, and that was the day after. Was it the day after Christmas? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she went shopping in the mall, and she hadn't washed her hair, and she was like sweating bullets. And I was laughing up a storm at her misery because she couldn't take her hat off because it was so hot. And she hadn't washed her hair, so she didn't want to take her hat off. Anyway, word of the wise, one alpaca item does you just fine. So I will see you next week when we will be talking about some more baby items, because I have a lot of knitting to do for an upcoming baby. So I will talk to you soon.